Hi everyone, good morning. It's 11 o'clock and I'm meteorologist Melanie Layden and it's time for our weather school for kids. First, before I start, people are starting to tune in. I want to make sure that you can see me because we are turning our phones sideways now. A lot of people are watching this on their iPads and even streaming it on TV. So I'm making sure that everyone can see me okay. So if you're tuning in right now, just leave me a comment really quickly and tell me if you can see this okay on your phone and or TV at home, just so I know that everyone's making sure that we can see it okay. So I'll wait for some more people to tune in. And as you're tuning in, just give me a quick thumbs up or a comment and let me know if you can see this all right on your phone or your TV or iPad from home. Okay, looks like we're good to go. All right, guys, good morning. Again, if you're just tuning in, I'm forewarned meteorologist Melanie Layden, and we have been doing at 11 o'clock every morning a weather school for kids. And I thought today's would be appropriate to talk about thunderstorm safety because we've got some thunderstorms in the forecast over the next couple of days, and it's a good time so everyone, not even just kids, will know what to do if one comes in your area or if you're maybe enjoying your time outside and a thunderstorm approaches, what you need to do to stay safe. So as people get tuned in, we'll get started with today's lesson, and you can leave your comments as we go and I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. All right, so I'm going to get over here to my weather computer, and I made some couple of graphics for you too as we go along. So this is our weather school for kids. If you have any questions.
You're sideways.
Okay, I'm sideways. Lisa told me to do it sideways on purpose. Yeah, because people are watching this on the website too.
On mobile, you're sideways.
Okay. All right, I'm going to turn it vertically so everyone can see me now on their phones too, and we'll try to fix this later when we put it on the computer. So, all right, weather school for kids. Here we go. If you have weather questions, you can leave them in the comment section, and today's lesson again is going to be on thunderstorm safety. So we're going to talk a little bit first about lightning. You can see here, lightning can be kind of dangerous, and that typically comes along with a thunderstorm. And lightning is produced in the atmosphere, and it actually can be pretty dangerous, and if you get struck by it, it can even kill you. It sends a lot of people to the hospital every year. So if you're caught outside in a thunderstorm, this is the main reason why it's so important to be indoors. Every year, anywhere between 75 to 100 people are treated with lightning burns from being outside. So you want to make sure you listen to the weather reports if there's thunderstorms that could pop up in your area. A weather radio is a great thing to have. Of course, your television, and a lot of us have smartphones now, and you can see them, your weather alerts that way. We're also going to talk a little bit about tornadoes too. We just had a really big one that came through Nashville, a couple of them actually, and these were really powerful tornadoes that were EF2 and EF3 tornadoes. So a lot of times when we talk about thunderstorms, some of them do have the capability of producing tornadoes. So we're going to talk a little bit about tornado safety too, what to do if you're ever caught in a situation where there's a tornado warning in your area. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the basics here, the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch that's issued, say a thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch for your area, that really just means watch out. That means that the conditions are favorable for them to develop. It means that it's possible for your area, but it's not guaranteed. However, when you hear there's a tornado or a thunderstorm warning in your area, that's when you want to start taking action. That's when you need to seek shelter. That means there has been either a severe storm or a tornado that has been spotted, whether it has been spotted by a storm spotter or radar indicated. That's when you want to start making your way inside as quickly as you can, get into shelter, an interior room away from any windows. It's the best place to be, and especially on the lowest level of your home. All right, so let's take a look here. This is a little GIF of a thunderstorm here producing some lightning, and we're going to talk first about thunderstorm safety, and then we'll get into tornado safety. So thunderstorms are very common this time of year. We've got a couple of them already in the forecast for us over the next couple of days, and you want to just keep an eye on what the weather is doing in your area. If you hear that there's going to be the possibility of a thunderstorm, that's okay. Most of these are just springtime thunderstorms, but you see, they do have the capability of producing lightning, which can be dangerous. So you want to look for darkening skies, flashes of lightning, increasing winds is also a pretty good giveaway that there's going to be some strong storms coming your way. And lightning often precedes rain, so don't wait for the rain to begin. If you hear the thunder, you want to go ahead and get in your safe place pretty quickly. The best place to go, of course, would be a sturdy building, and in a thunderstorm, a car is okay. However, if it's a tornado, a car is not a good place to be. If it's just your typical run-of-the-mill thunderstorm, your car is safe. Just make sure your windows are rolled up. You want to avoid anything outdoors like sheds or picnic areas. If you're in a sporting area, like where bleachers or baseball dugouts are, also not a great place to be either in a thunderstorm. There's also something else you want to keep aware of too. Anything that's tall around you, like trees or poles, you've probably heard before that lightning likes to strike tall things. So if you're out in, say, a field, if you have anyone in your family that works in farming or agriculture and you're out in an empty field and a thunderstorm is coming, it is very important to go ahead and get inside, because as you can see here, the lightning likes to strike those tall things. That's why we see a lot of times lightning striking power poles or trees. When it strikes a power pole, that's when your power can go out too. So that's usually the cause of a lot of power outages during thunderstorms too, is that something has been struck by lightning. So that's one thing to keep in mind too. Get away from trees. If you're with a group of people, you also want to stay away from other people too, if you can't seek shelter immediately, because it also likes to strike clusters of things. Notice here this little fencing area. There's a couple of strikes that have come down. It will like to strike the tallest things it can find. So if you're with a bunch of people outside, you want to stay as spaced out as you can so you can all stay safe. Another place that is not a good place to be is in a swimming pool. And I know when it gets warm outside in the spring and summer, a lot of us like to go out swimming, and then you get those summertime thunderstorms that roll through, but you really want to be out of the water. And that's because water is a huge conductor of electricity. So a lot of times lightning will strike things like pools. So if you live outside, or if you have a pool outside of your backyard, or even just a little makeshift pool that you buy from Walmart or Target, those inflatable ones, sometimes those can be just enough for lightning to strike there too. So a swimming pool is not a good place to be. Even places like when you're at the beach and the ocean, you want to avoid places like that, and even small areas too, like little puddles in the ground. You want to stay away from that as well. All right, let's talk about tornadoes for a little bit too, because, obviously we just had a couple of really big ones here. Tornado safety is very similar to thunderstorm safety, but obviously tornadoes are much more powerful and can do a lot more damage. So you can see here, this is a moving image of a tornado rotating here over land. And really, tornadoes can form out of these severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So anytime we have a severe thunderstorm warning, there is a possibility, most of the time, that it can produce an isolated tornado, which is what we just saw over the past couple of weeks. So that's why it's important to stay weather aware even when there's just thunderstorms in the forecast for you. All right, so here's where you should go in a tornado. This is a kind of a good replica of a house here, and this is a really good representation of where you want to be and not be if you have a tornado warning in your area. You absolutely do not want to be on the top floor of your home. So if you live in a home that has maybe 2 or 3 stories, you want to be in the lowest level of your home. You also want to avoid any rooms that are exterior. So if you have a room that maybe has a window on the outside, you want to avoid that. And you absolutely do not want to be outside. That's the worst place you can be. However, I will say this, we do have a lot of areas here in the South. If you happen to live in a mobile home, in a trailer park, this is your one exception where you do want to be outside, because mobile homes are not a safe place to be in a tornado. They're just not sturdy. They're not secure to the ground. So if you or someone you know have family that does live in one, that is one situation where you do want to be outside of the mobile home and get into the nearest ditch you can find. That would also apply if you are in your car. If you happen to be driving somewhere and a tornado is in your area, that is an instance where you want to get out and get into a ditch. I know that sounds terrifying and it sounds very scary, but you're more likely to survive a tornado in a ditch if you are in a mobile home or a car. And I will say one more thing about cars. interstates where you have those concrete overpass and bridges. That is also one place that looks like it would be safe, but it's one of the most dangerous places that you can be. And that is because the way that bridge forms to where your car would be parked underneath, it acts as a tunnel for that wind to just come right through and suck you up. So that's one place that you definitely want to avoid, are those kind of concrete bridges or barriers. And that's one thing that people really maybe aren't super educated about. It looks like it would be a safe place to go, but it's really not. So I know it sounds really scary, but if you ever are in that kind of situation, the better place for you to be is actually out of your car and into the nearest ditch that you can find. That's because the way it kind of goes underground a little bit, that tornado will go right over you versus sucking you up through that tunnel-like suction. So that's something really important to keep in mind. But this replica right here is actually if you're in your home. And again, want to avoid those top floors and exterior windows. The best place you can be is an interior room, closet, or bathroom. If you have maybe a powder room or a coat closet that's maybe underneath a staircase, that's a great place to be. I know they can be a little cramped, but that's a place where it would be a pretty good idea to keep flashlights and extra batteries. Maybe an extra pair of tennis shoes wouldn't be a bad idea either. A basement is the perfect place to be, but I know not a lot of people have a basement, but that's an ideal place. And if you can, get under anything sturdy. If you do not have one of those interior rooms, under some kind of table or heavy piece of furniture, that will offer you some protection over your head too. And once you get into those interior rooms or closets, make sure you have pillows, blankets, something to cover your head with. A weather radio is fantastic to have, and that's because if you ever see us here on Channel 4, if your power goes out and we can't tell you when it's all clear, your weather radio or your phone can. So you always want to have those two ways to protect yourself. Again, here the green light places to go would be a basement, and also an emergency supply kit. That's a great idea to have too. And if you don't have that basement, get into an interior room with no windows. If you're ever at school in a tornado, this has happened before where tornadoes have rolled through the mid-state during the day. Every school or business will most likely have some kind of disaster plan in place. They probably will have frequent drills that they do, but a lot of places like that will have basements or hallways to get into with a plan in place where a lot of people are. I know malls have the same thing too, have those safe areas for you to go. But these are just a few tips during a tornado. And the only difference between the thunderstorms and the tornadoes is that a car is an okay place for you to go in a thunderstorm. And that's because you're not going to have all that rotation that you would with a tornado that makes it so dangerous. So I'm gonna read some of your comments here. Okay, Alex, thank you for writing in. She says, Ellie wants to know the difference between a watch and a warning. So I actually just went over that a little bit ago. I know everyone's kind of tuning in at different times, but this is a great question that we get asked a lot. And not even just from kids, people of all ages. They say, what is the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning? And really a watch is really just meaning you need to watch out because there is a possibility that a thunderstorm or a tornado could develop in your area. And a tornado warning means this is when you need to take action. It means there are storms occurring. There has either been a severe thunderstorm or a tornado spotted, whether it be by a tornado spotter or radar indicated. And that's when you need to take action and get into your safe place, away from windows, your basement or interior room. That's a great question. And we get asked that by people of all ages. So thank you, Ellie, for that question. And Kara says, thank you for doing this. Shared it with the whole neighborhood. Thank you, Kara. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mary. So sweet. Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all are so nice. Again, we do these every day, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning. So if you have weather questions, we would love to answer them for you. We pick a topic every day too. Yesterday I did it on hurricanes. So you could actually go back and watch that one if you'd like. We do post these online on the News 4 app and on WSMV.com. So you can definitely check those out there, and we update them. Myself, Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer, Dan Thomas, Laura Bannon, Cody Murphy, we all do these every day at 11. I know the parents is getting a little hard on you right now with kids being out of school. Just a little something we can do to help offer any kind of fun weather insight, and hopefully you learned something along the way too. And these are live videos, but when we go off air of here on Facebook Live, you can still leave your comments, and we would be more than happy to get in there and answer them for you, even after this is done being live. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock tomorrow for your weather school for kids with a brand new topic, and hopefully it's something that you can have fun with and your kids can learn something. And hey, also while you're at home with your kids, if they want to draw a weather picture, we've been showing your weather artwork on TV. You can submit those through the News 4 app as well, and we would love to show those on TV for you on News 4 on any of our newscasts. So be sure to catch those there too. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day, and I will see you with the latest weather report on the thunderstorms coming to our area on News 4 at noon. So hope you can tune in then. Have a great day.